This conference will now be recorded.
Recording పెట్టేసావా? Good afternoon to all of you. Reshma, Priyanka, Vishal, Krishna Vamsi, Sai Suhas, Krishna Prasad. Okay, today we will take up the last class. ఇది వీడియో రికార్డ్ చేయలేదే? టర్న్ ఆన్ కెమెరా. అది టర్న్ ఆన్ కెమెరా చేయలే. కెమెరా చేస్తే కదా మనం కనపడేదానికి. టర్న్ అవుట్ కెమెరా చేస్తే కదా మన వాళ్ళు కనపడేది కాదా? So this is the last class in gallbladder and biliary tract system. This is very important. Polydocal cyst is asked many times, as I already told you. This is asked many times as a 4 marks question. Or if they ask only Caroli's disease, it may be asked as a Caroli's disease, a type of polydocal cyst. It was asked many times as 2 marks question. So దీనికి చాలా హిస్టారికల్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్ కూడా ఉంది. వేటర్ అండ్ ఎజ్లర్ described the anatomical detail of polydocal cyst. Douglas, first clinical description of polydocal cyst. McWhorter, first excision of polydocal cyst. And what we are major concerned is the Alonso-Less classification of the polydocal cyst, what we follow, and it is slightly modified by the Todani. So Todani's modification of Alonso-Less classification of polydocal cyst. This name you have to mention in the examination. So it is isolated or combined congenital dilatation of extrahepatic or intrahepatic biliary tree. It can be isolated or combined of extrahepatic or intrahepatic of congenital nature. Okay. So as seen in children below 10 years, more than 2/3 of all cases reported from Asia in our underdeveloped countries. And female is to male ratio is 3:1. So this is the classification, Alonso-Less classification of and Todani's modification. Todani modification of Alonso-Less classification of polydocal cyst. You have to remember this, very important. Type 1 is more frequent, 90 to 90% of the cases. It is type 1 polydocal cyst. That is dilatation of the extrahepatic biliary tree. What is this extrahepatic biliary tree? CHD and CBD. అవే కదా మెయిన్గా కామన్ హెపాటిక్ డక్ట్ కామన్ మెయిన్గా అవే కదా. And type 1, they can be cystic, focal or fusiform. The swellings, the cyst can be cystic shape. These are the shapes, focal or fusiform. The cystic fusiform more common. I will show you the diagrams and the examples. And type 2 is saccular. So it is nothing but a diverticulum of the common bile duct or common hepatic duct, just like a diverticular outpouch. And the third one is very important, choledococele. That means the common bile duct at the opening of the duodenum, at the opening at the duodenal papilla. Okay, ampulla of Vater, duodenal papilla, and at that opening, and so the last part of the common bile duct which opens at the duodenal papilla, there will be a cystic dilatation. That is called type 3 or choledococele. ఒక్కోసారి choledococele అని కూడా ఇచ్చేసేయచ్చు ఎగ్జామినేషన్. Okay. And the fourth one is 4A is intrahepatic and extrahepatic biliary cysts. See, 4A is both intrahepatic and extrahepatic. 4B is only extrahepatic multiple cysts. Itlo even these are all only single cysts. These are all single cysts. Whereas 4B is multiple extrahepatic cysts, either from the common hepatic duct or common bile duct. Multiple cysts will be present. And the most important is the type 5, that is the dilatation of both dilatation of only intrahepatic ducts with periductal periportal fibrosis. This is known as Caroli's disease. So type 5 of choledochal cyst is Caroli's disease. It is only congenital intrahepatic ductal dilatation. Intrahepatic, only intrahepatic. Remember. And with periportal associated periportal fibrosis. See, type 1 is most common. You see, this is the fusiform dilatation, or it can be a simple cystic dilatation, or what is the other one? Cystic focal dilatation. So entire CBD here, CHD and CBD is fusiformly dilated. This is cystic duct. Okay, this is the most common variety. Type 1 is most common. This is the fusiform dilatation of the extrahepatic biliary tree. This is type 1. In the Padu, what is in? So type 2 is simple diverticulum of the extrahepatic. See, that saccular and fusiform, that fusiform, they are all affecting the entire circumference of the this extrahepatic biliary apparatus. 3. And whereas this saccular is only coming from one side of the common bile duct. See, the saccular diverticulum of the, so it is a true diverticulum of the extrahepatic biliary tree, that is type 1. And type 3 is, as I already told you, intraduodenal part of the bile duct. See, bile duct has got 4 parts. Kada? Supraduodenal, retroduodenal, infraduodenal, and intraduodenal. So that is the last part which joins with the pancreatic duct and opens at the duodenal papilla after forming the ampulla of Vater. See, this is the cyst. This is the cyst. This is called polydococele. So polydococele and pergoductal is the third type of polydocal cyst. And 4A and B, see, 4A is both intrahepatic and extrahepatic biliary cysts. See, here cysts are there intrahepatic, and here extrahepatic biliary cysts. Both unte 4A. And if it is only extrahepatic, see, only extrahepatic, multiple extrahepatic, see, this is 4B. This is 4B. And what is 5? Only intrahepatic. Only intrahepatic with periportal fibrosis. So the extrahepatic is entirely normal. Only intrahepatic is type 5, or otherwise known as Caroli's disease. You see, type 5 is very rare but frequently asked in the examination. I do not know why. See, you see, only intrahepatic biliary bile duct dilatation with periportal fibrosis. Okay, this is type 5, though rare, is frequently asked in the examinations. So what is the essential pathology? Why it is? So they are congenital, but pathology, various pathological forms. I mean the morphological forms, glandular type. So normal cuboidal epithelium is seen within those cysts. Normal cuboidal epithelium is seen with chronic inflammatory cell infiltrate. So this is called glandular type. Or fibrotic type, that is well developed collagen fibers will be present. Choledococele is in the choledococele. It mainly contains the duodenal mucosa-like epithelium. Choledococele. This is the third one. Type 3 cyst. And liver, mild inflammatory infiltrate seen in some cases with minimal periportal fibrosis, especially in the type 5, that is Caroli's disease. So this is the morphological pathology of the disease. So these are all the etiology which have been described: congenital weakness of CBD, abnormal canalization of CBD, and this is very frequently as APBDJ, anomalous pancreatico-biliary duct junction. ఇది మనకి ఇందులో కూడా వచ్చింది. ఎక్కడ వచ్చింది? అక్యూట్ కోలిసిస్టైటిస్ వాటిలో కూడా వచ్చింది కదా. anomalous pancreatico-biliary duct junction kada. The pancreatic duct and biliary duct, they both join in the intraduodenal portion, form the ampulla and open into the duodenal papilla. So that junction, if it is far proximal, that means the junctional duct will be very lengthy, more than 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters like that. Then it is prone for all the complications. So obstruction at the level of duodenum, abnormalities of the autonomic innervation. So it is a sex-linked genetic defect, prenatal rupture of the CBD, especially in type 2 variety, and congenital duodenal duplication, especially in type 3. So all these are etiological factors for the formation of, for the occurrence of the choledochal cyst. So mainly, so in all these things, high concentration of the pancreatic juice, high concentration of pancreatic amylase in the biliary tree. So at the junction of both bile duct and pancreatic duct, so usually both of them will be going into the duodenum. Whereas in this case, the pancreatic duct, because of the abnormal pancreatico-biliary duct junction, the pancreatic juice will enter into the bile duct. So there will be more amylase in the bile biliary tree. So that pressure gradient favoring pancreatic exocrine secretions into the biliary tree. Apart from, because of this amylase and other pancreatic exocrine secretions, we enter the biliary tree and they will start digesting the biliary tract. Okay, so biliary tract. So once the enzymes are there, they will digest the proteins of the biliary tract, and it may cause circulation and cystic formation. The third one is the abnormalities of the autonomic innervation of the extrahepatic biliary tree. So because of this autonomic innervation, there will be dilatations. Okay, just like Hirschsprung's disease. Hirschsprung's disease is A ganglionis of the colon, rectum and colon. So likewise, if there is any defect in the autonomic innervation of the extrahepatic biliary tree, these abnormalities can occur. ఇట్లా Babbitt theory అను ఇది అంటారు, Babbitt. So this is all pathology and natural history. What will happen to them? Secondary bile acids that can form bacteria overgrowth in, see, cancers of the biliary tree, gallbladder, pancreas, liver, and duodenum have been associated with choledochal cyst disease. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, all these cancers can occur. It is a pre-cancerous condition, almost predisposing factor. Most commonly, the carcinoma has been found to be cholangiocarcinoma involving the extrahepatic biliary tree, because that is the main site for choledochal cyst, thus stressing the importance of excision of the biliary cyst. So అందువల్ల any biliary cyst is found, definitely you have to excise it because of the dangers of formation of this carcinoma. The higher incidence and young age of the presentation and diagnosis of malignant change within the gallbladder and biliary tree is due to reflux of pancreatic enzymes into the biliary tree. So once the pancreatic enzymes enter the biliary tree, they cause autodigestion and chronic inflammatory changes. Chemical inflammation will occur and they will cause, ultimately there will be metaplasia, dysplasia, and finally carcinoma of the biliary tract can occur, especially that CBD area. And secondary bile acids that can form from the bacteria bacterial overgrowth in choledochal cyst may serve as promoter of carcinogens in patients genetically susceptible to cancer. Suppose these patients are having genetic abnormalities in 199 KRAS and all those things, P53 genetic abnormalities are there. With added to that, because of those genetic abnormalities, the bacterial overgrowth in the choledochal cyst may serve as a promoter carcinogens. So there will be ground. Two factors will be adding: the genetic abnormality and this chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation due to pancreatic enzymes in the biliary tract. They may cause carcinoma of the biliary tree. See, this is APVDJ. Normally, this common bile duct and this pancreatic duct, usually they join here. They join here and open here immediately. Immediately they join. Whereas this is called anomalous pancreatobiliary duct junction. There will be the joining of these two ducts will be more proximal. You see, more proximal, and the combined duct, long common channel, it will be more than 1 centimeter, will be present. So there will be chances of reflux of pancreatic fluid into the bile duct. Reflux of pancreatic fluid into the bile duct. So once the pancreatic fluid means enzymes are untai. So they cause digestion of these collagen fibers in this, and they initiate chemical inflammation. Pancreas a chemical inflammation. So mucosal injury to chronic inflammation, it will become chronic, and ultimately it may cause cholangiocarcinoma. So this is the essential pathology in the choledochal cyst. So that is the reason. So it line because of the auto digestion by the amylase and lipase and all those things, and with chronic inflammation, this wall becomes weak and it will become a choledochal cyst. So in this choledochal cyst, because of the chronic inflammation and added to the genetic abnormalities, they may become as a cholangiocarcinoma. So this is the total what I have told you in the previous 2 or 3 slides. This is the essential diagram pathology. So it can be diagnosed prenatally also, because it's a congenital, because pancreas forms in the 12th week, something like that, 3rd month or 4th month. So in the mid trimester, because the pregnancy usually come for mid trimester ultrasound examination. So by ultrasound examination in the mid trimester, it can be diagnosed. So in that gallbladder and hepatic area, there will be dilatation. So congenital dilatation can be seen even prenatally also. So operation in early infancy may be done. Otherwise, by the time the child grows, he may develop complications and including carcinoma in early age itself. So serial follow-up of biochemical and ultrasound is very important when it is diagnosed in the early infancy or in the mid-trimester duration. So this is the clinical presentation, age ranging from, so once the patient, because it's a congenital, usually it presents in the 1 to 3 months of age. So in the early neonatal period, the patient will present with this choledochal cyst. Present with obstructive jaundice. So he may present with obstructive jaundice. Ecolic stools, that means white stools. Hepatomegaly, and occasionally a picture of cirrhosis. Low-grade fever. Jaundice manifests in 1 to 3 weeks, and hepatomegaly. Any of these presentations can be there in the early infantile form of choledochal cyst. And if the patient has grown a little early, so then it will form as an adult type, presence at the 2 years of age or more than that, with abdominal pain, palpable abdominal mass, intermittent jaundice, signs of cholangitis, and there may be cirrhosis. So all these things can be present in the adult form. If it is more than infancy, that is more than 2 years of age. See, in pediatric patient, right upper quadrant pain, jaundice, and there may be abdominal mass. Classical trade will be seen in only 10% of the cases. Whereas in adult patient, abdominal pain, jaundice, and abdominal mass. Think of cyst associated with the malignancy. So by the time the patient has become adult, there may be chances of forming the cholangiocarcinoma. Okay, and if the gallbladder is palpable in that case, you have to suspect the malignancy carcinoma of the gallbladder. So polylocal cyst is one of the risk factors for the development of carcinoma of the gallbladder. And acute cholangitis and acute pancreatitis, all these things can occur in the adult patient. Whereas in the children cases, there may be mass because that big congenital cyst can be felt per abdomen, okay, with the pain and jaundice. In pediatric cases, in adult patients, they come with complications like cholangitis, pancreatitis, abdominal mass with malignancy, jaundice, and abdominal pain. So they are asymptomatic. So sometimes they can be asymptomatic for so many years. So anything can happen. They can be asymptomatic. So they are the symptoms what I have described for infantile and adult forms, but they can be asymptomatic for so many years. Tarvata they can develop symptoms due to secondary biliary cirrhosis, due to long-standing biliary obstruction, carcinoma, portal hypertension, due to compression of the portal vein by the cyst, spontaneous rupture, especially in pregnancy, they can happen. So after so much period of asymptomatic cases, they may present with some of the complications. Okay, that also you have to keep in your mind. So differential diagnosis, all the congenital causes, where congenital hepatic fibrosis, primary sclerosing cholangitis, congenital cirrhosis, congenital stricture of the CBD and CHD. So all these things you have to keep in your mind, and the diagnosis can be confirmed by the various investigations. Now, of course, all these are uncommon congenital diseases, of which we are more concerned with the polylocal cyst, and almost all of these things are prone for malignancy along with polylocal cyst. So all these things you have to differentiate from one of all these things, and treatment is very difficult in all these conditions because by the time the baby is born, even in infantile and early childhood period, they present with the malignancies and all the cirrhosis, portal hypertension, strictures, obstructive jaundice, and all those things. It's very difficult to manage. So as usual, the diagnosis with all the laboratory LFT and coagulation profile, ultrasound, CT scan, MRI, DISDA scan, and a type of HIDA scan, okay, and PTCA, ERCP, MRCP. So all the investigations for biliary disease may be required depending on the severity of the case, depending on the type of the case. For example, type 3 polydocal cyst. We call it as polydococele. Can anybody tell which is the best investigation of all the things? Type 3 polydocal cyst. Indaaka chepparu, otherwise known as polydococele. Polydococele ante ekkada untundi adi? The most distal part of the common bile duct in the duodenum lo untundi. So which is the best investigation? ఇవి ఉపయోగమే. అల్ట్రాసౌండ్ లో కూడా కనపడచ్చు, కనపడకపోవచ్చు, because there is a duodenum and gas and all those things are there. CT scan లో కనపడచ్చు, MRI కనపడచ్చు, DCD scan లో కూడా కనపడచ్చు, PTCA లో ERCP, because this is the best investigation where you can pass the gastroscopy and you can see the ampulla of water at the duodenal papilla, and you can see the cystic dilatation of there. So directly you can do some operative procedure for that choledococele. So ERCP is the best procedure for type 3. And any of the things can be identified, but for therapeutic also, this will be useful, both diagnostic and therapeutic ERC. See, barium gastrointestinal ultrasonography. And what is this? This ఏమై ఉంటుంది? ఇది MRCP ఇది. Okay, this is MRCP. So you can see the common bile duct. You see the huge dilatation here. Okay. And that HEDA scan, చెప్పాను కదా, DCDA scan, that HEDA scan also. Suppose there is and there will be very abnormality in the filling up of the ducts and passes of the bile. So in HEDA scan, the gallbladder function will be delayed because the bile will not be entering normally into the gallbladder because of this cystic dilatation. So bile will be stagnant here. It may not freely entering into the gallbladder. So by 10 minutes, you can see the hepatic, and by 20 to 30 minutes, within 60 minutes, you can see that HEDA scan, that HEDA material, technetium 99 labeled immunodiazolic acid. That will be seen in the gallbladder and duodenum within 1 hour, maximum 1 hour. So that will not be seen in this case of choledochal cysts and ERCP. And if it is causing because there are more of intrahepatic ductal dilatation with obstructive jaundice and all those things, then PTC is the best investigation. So depending on the severity, complications, findings, requirement, and all those things, you can choose any of the systems. So of which the ERCP for type 3 is the best. Okay. Both endoscopic and transhepatic cholangiography, cholangitis, bacteria, and the complications. You see, this is the cyst. These are all the cyst. Okay, and it is at the time of operation like this here, but this is all cyst which is excised in this case. And you can see the cystic dilatation. These are all the cyst. So in ultrasound, you see the cystic dilatation of the common bile duct. So it can be seen in ultrasound also, depending on the type. You see the gallbladder with the big cyst in the common bile duct. This is MRI. This is MRI with a big fusiform type of cyst in the common bile duct and almost common hepatic duct. Very big fusiform swelling. So this is the ERCP where they have injected the dye through the duodenal papilla. You can see the saccular dilatation of the common bile duct here. What is this duct? Pancreatic duct. The common bile duct duct is pancreatic duct. So this is all dilatation. Okay, and if there is APBDJ, that is abnormal pancreatico-biliary duct junction. See, both are joined here. Of course, in this case, they might have joined here with big common duct. This is also a pathological factor for the formation of this choledochal cyst. So this is cholangiogram, where you can see the big cyst here. So these are the complications and natural history. The cyst can turn into the cyst may present with the jaundice, recurrent cholangitis because of the stasis and ineffective passage of the bile distally and into the gallbladder, pancreatitis, gallstones, polycystitis, cirrhosis with portal hypertension, cyst rupture, and carcinoma of the gallbladder, CBD, pancreas, and liver. All these things can happen. Why in liver? Because the cyst can be in the liver, intrahepatic cyst. They may cause carcinoma in the area within the liver. So risk of malignancy below 10 years is 0.7%, 11 and 20, 6.8, and above 20 years, 15%. You see, very much high incidence. So it's definitely a big risk factor. That's why as soon as you diagnose choledochal cyst, whatever may be the type, depending on the requirement and facilities, you have to do surgery, you have to excise the cyst. And of course, preoperative preparation is, as usual, correction of the coagulation profile, because the liver is also affected, and there will be some amount of infection will be there because the biliary abnormal flow. So antibiotics and adequate hydration and preoperative carbohydrates and nutritional balance has to be clear, managed before going for operation. So in the surgical management, so many procedures have been described: aspiration, marsupialization, external drainage, cholecystostomy, tube drainage of the cyst, tube drainage of hepatic duct, cyst excision and anastomosis of the CHD to duodenum, choledochoduodenostomy. So depending on the size, shape, and position, and how close to the surrounding organs, you can select any of these procedures. ఇంకా కూడా ఉన్నాయి. So cyst excision with rho and Y, rho and hepaticogynecostomy. So this is the common procedure. Cyst excision with rho and hepaticogynecostomy is the commonly followed procedure of all these. Lilly's procedure. Lilly's procedure అంటే if the cyst is very close to the portal vein, so you cannot remove, completely excise the cyst. What will happen if you try to completely excise the cyst? You will tear the portal vein, and again there will be a lot of problem. So in such cases, entire cyst is removed except the wall which is over the portal vein. Okay. ఇది పోర్టల్ వెయిన్ అనుకోండి, ఇక్కడ సిస్ట్ ఉందనుకోండి, వెరీ క్లోజ్ టు ది పోర్టల్ వెయిన్. ఎంటైర్ సిస్ట్ విల్ బి రిమూవ్డ్. This part of the wall of the cyst will be left over, but we have to remove the mucosa. Otherwise, there will be again recurrence. Okay, so that is called Lilly's procedure. That's called Lilly's procedure. And valved jejunal interposition, hepaticoduodenostomy, transduodenal sphincterotomy, and sphincteroplasty. ఇది ఎక్కడ చేస్తారు చెప్పండి? Transduodenal sphincterotomy and sphincteroplasty. స్ఫింక్టర్లు ఎక్కడ ఉంటాయి? స్ఫింక్టర్ ఆఫ్ పేరు కూడా ఉంది, transduodenal. So this is for type 3 cyst, choledococele కదా. ERCP ఎప్పుడు చేస్తారు? ఇవన్నీ transduodenal sphincterotomy, sphincteroplasty. So if you diagnose type 3 cyst by ERCP, directly ఆ సిస్ట్ ని అక్కడ ఎక్సైజ్ చేసేసి ఆ స్ఫింక్టర్ ని స్ఫింక్టరాటమీ ఆర్ స్ఫింక్టరోప్లాస్టీ చేసేసి దే విల్ వైడెన్ ది మౌత్ ఆఫ్ ది సిస్ట్, సో దట్ దేర్ విల్ బి ది కంటెంట్స్ విల్ బి ఫ్రీలీ పాసింగ్ ఇన్ టు ది డ్యూరిన్. అట్లానే ఎప్పుడు చేస్తే, సపోజ్ దర్ ఇస్ ఎ బిగ్ సిస్ట్ ఇంపాక్టెడ్ అట్ ది టెర్మినల్ పార్ట్, ది యాంపుల్ ఆఫ్ వేటర్ డ్యూరనల్ ప్యాపులా, అప్పుడు కూడా ఏం చేస్తారంటే త్రూ ERCP they will do sphincterotomy or stricturoplasty. So ERCP lo sphincterotomy, stricturoplasty, very impacted big stone in the ampulla of water, a terminal part of the common bile duct at the duodenal papilla, idi kuda. And second indication is choledococele, that is the type 3 choledochal cyst. And pancreaticoduodenectomy for type 3. Suppose that these simple things are not possible and that choledococele is very big, then you may have to go for pancreaticoduodenectomy. Okay, for type 3, usually they will come under control with this ERCP, sphincterotomy and sphincteroplasty. But if it is not coming under control, if the cyst is so big and you are not able to manage, and there will be recurrence and all the problems, then you may have to go for pancreaticoduodenectomy. Okay, and partial hepatic lobectomy. Suppose these cysts are dilatations or cysts are limited to one segment or one lobe, then you can do partial, or depending on the feasibility, you can do hepatectomies also. And cyst excision with Roux-en-Y by hepaticoduodenostomy. So these are all the various procedures that have been mentioned, but you remember this name, cyst excision with Roux-en-Y by hepaticoduodenostomy. Lilly's procedure is cyst which is very close to the portal vein, and transduodenal sphincterotomy and sphincteroplasty for type 3. And if it is not coming under control with these minor procedures through ERCP, then you may have to go for pancreaticoduodenectomy. This is main. Just for history sake, and probably they might have done in special centers depending on the requirement. These 4 things you have to remember. See, choledochal cyst excision with reconstruction via a biliary enteric Roux-en-Y anastomosis has become the treatment of choice for most of the types of choledochal cyst. చెప్పాను కదా, choledochal cyst excision with Roux-en-Y jejunal anastomosis, hepatico-jejunal anastomosis. So this is the standard treatment for almost all the choledochal cysts except type 3 polydocosile. దీనికి ఏం చేస్తారు? Polydocosile ఏం చేస్తారు చెప్పాను ఇప్పుడే, స్ఫింక్టరాటమీ, స్ఫింక్టరోప్లాస్టీ త్రూ ERCP type 3 అయితే. And type 5 Caroli's disease. What is Caroli's disease? It is type 5 intrahepatic dilatations. Type 5 is Caroli's, that is intrahepatic, exclusively intrahepatic biliary dilatations. So in such cases, this procedure will not be useful for these 2 things. Only the sphincterotomy, sphincteroplasty, and for Caroli's disease, a hepatic lobectomy, depending on the location of this intrahepatic circulations and cyst formation, or sometimes if it is extensive, you may have to go for transplantation, total hepatectomy with replacement with hepatic transplantation. So that is the reason why ఈ Caroli's disease అడిగినప్పుడు మీరు ఆ 2 ముక్కలు రాయాలి. If the Caroli's disease, that is intrahepatic circulations or cysts, are confined to one lobe, you can do lobectomy. And if it is occupying the both lobes and causing severe symptoms like jaundice, cholangitis, and all those things, you have to do total hepatectomy with transplantation. Okay, so ఈ Caroli's disease అప్పుడు ఈ 2 పదాల కోసం వాళ్ళు చూస్తారు, partial hepatectomy or lobectomy, or if it is involving the entire liver, causing severe symptoms like obstructive jaundice, cholangitis, cirrhosis, portal hypertension, then you have to go for total hepatectomy with transplantation. ఈ 2 పదాలు ఇందులో పడాలి. Polydocosile ఇచ్చారంటే sphincterotomy, sphincteroplasty through ERCP, ఆ 2 పడాలి. Okay. See, choledochal cyst type 3 ki transduodenal sphincteroplasty and sphincterotomy. And for rest of the things, generally the cyst excision with Roux-en-Y jejunal anastomosis will be sufficient. So the excision and hepatico-jejunostomy, the steps మీకు ఇంత అవసరం లేలే. So this is the laparotomy, laparoscopic. Some people will do it under laparoscopy also, or open procedures. Better open procedures. See, you can see the cyst, the common bile duct and hepatic duct. You can see the big huge cyst. So they will excise the cyst. This is the cystic duct probably. They will excise the cyst, and what will they do? They will excise the cyst. What will they do? Because the bile has to come into the bowel, and they will do hepatico-jejunostomy, Roux-en-Y hepatico-jejunostomy. ఇక్కడ cyst తీసేస్తారు. హెపాటిక్ అంటే కామన్ హెపాటిక్ డక్ట్, దట్ కాన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్ ఉంది కదా, లెఫ్ట్ అండ్ రైట్ హెపాటిక్ డక్ట్స్ కాన్ఫ్లుయెన్స్, దానికి జెజునమ్ తీసుకొచ్చి ఇక్కడ పెడతారు ఇన్ Roux-en-Y టైప్. సో దట్ ఈస్ ది కామన్ ప్రొసీజర్ దట్ విల్ బి డన్ ఫర్ మెజారిటీ ఆఫ్ దిస్. ఫ్యూజిఫామ్ ఉన్నా, సాక్యులర్ ఉన్నా, కోలిడోకోసిల్ ఉన్నా, Choledococele అంటే ఇంకొంచెం మైనర్ ప్రొసీజర్ కూడా చేస్తారు. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ ది కామన్లీ డన్ ప్రొసీజర్. You see the various steps. See, they are removing the they are excising the cyst. Excision has been done, and they are doing the Royan by hepatico-jejunostomy. See, jejunum ఒక loop ని తీసుకొచ్చి, so the jejunum is anastomosed to the common bile duct, common hepatic duct ఏమీ లేదు. Everything is removed because of the big fusiform choledocal cyst. సో మొత్తాన్ని తీసేసి ఈ హెపాటికో-జెజునోస్టమీ చేస్తారు. ఓకే, దట్ ఇట్ విల్ బి డన్ ఇన్ ది Royan by ఫార్మ్. Royan by ఫార్మ్ అంటే తెలుసు కదా. సో ది డిస్టల్ జెజునమ్ లూప్ ఈజ్ anastomosed to the and the proximal jejunal loop is anastomosed again to the distal loop. So this is the Royan by type of hepatico-jejunostomy. This is the commonly done procedure. You see, this is hepatico, this is the jejunum, hepatico-jejunostomy. Live picture. Hepatico-jejunostomy. Royan by type. Royan by type. అంటే jejunum, this is jejunum కదా, duodenojejunal function jejunum. దీన్ని కట్ చేస్తారు, కట్ చేసి డిస్టల్ jejunum ని తీసుకొని ఇక్కడ anastomose చేస్తారు. And this part is again anastomosed to the this distal part. Okay, this is called Royan by. So of the patient, finally, what is this incision? Right subcostal.
Coccus.
Right, Coccus incision. Good. This is the right subcostal Coccus incision. So there are all the post-operative complications because it's the big surgeries, cardiac surgeries, where there will be a lot of complications like leak, cholangitis, hepaticolithiasis, hepatic artery bile duct fistulas, pancreatitis, anastomotic strictures, adenocarcinoma. So many things will be happening. So the operations are difficult, and the complications are also very common, and as it is, the mortality rate is also very high in these patients. So this is the post-operative follow-up. So you have to follow up with serum amylase and ultrasound every 3 months with antibiotics. You have to follow up whether there is bile is flowing normally, whether that anastomosis is okay or not, or if there at the anastomosis any strictures are there, or if any remaining cysts are there in the liver, whether they are going for malignancy, and all those things you have to follow up very carefully for every 3 months in the first year, and then annually with LFT, serum amylase and ultrasound. So malla cyst develop aయిందనుకో, again you have to replan for surgeries and all those things. Is a big messy procedures. So why that regular follow-up long term is necessary? Because cholangitis, biliary strictures, intrahepatic stones, pancreatitis, mainly malignancy. So in early childhood or infant, early childhood itself, the patient with either gallbladder carcinoma or cholangiocarcinoma, rarely carcinoma of the liver or pancreas. So as soon as the cyst is diagnosed, you have to do the procedure, and you have to carefully follow the case on long-term basis. This is Forme frusti choledocal cyst. ఇది ఒక ఊరినే just ఒక variety described as minimal dilatation of the CBD which does not grow with time. That's called Forme frusti choledocal cystitis. ఇది పేరేం కాదు, I think it is not the name. Forme frusti choledocal cystitis, French word or Latin word ఉంటుంది. So it is a minimal dilatation of the CBD which does not grow with time, whereas choledocal cysts, they grow with time. Okay, this is a very rare, and I have also seen it recently from the other books. Forme frusti choledocal cyst, minimal dilatation of the CBD, పెద్ద dilatation just like that choledocal cyst, which does not grow with time, unlike that choledocal cyst. CBD dilatation is 6 to 10 millimeters, Most patients have long common channel with partial obstruction of the terminal CBD. So, akada the common site is at the terminal CBD with long common channel with the pancreatic duct. Kada? So, akada adunna dani valla there will be dilatation and this cystic formation, which will not grow because this is acquired. But whereas the choledochal cyst original is congenital always. And associated fever, jaundice, and all those things, and diagnosed better by MRCP. And usually conservative management is sufficient. Otherwise, you have to exercise the dilatation part, and you have to do choledocho hepaticojejunostomy, depending on the site of the dilatation, which is giving troubles. And you have to choledochojejunostomy or hepaticojejunostomy, something of Roux en Y type might be required. This is in the diagram form. You see, this is the type 1 fusiform swelling. Anta exercise chesaru. So after exercise, it will be like this. What is this? Left and right hepatic ducts. This is called the confluence, where both the ducts are joined. This is called the confluence. So ikkada varaku mottam teesesaru. Mottam teesesi Roux en Y hepaticojejunostomy chesaru. So this is called Roux en Y hepaticojejunostomy. This is the commonly required procedure for most of the type 1 choledochal cyst. Okay. For example, type 2 ante enti cheppanu kada, it is just a diverticle. ఆ diverticle లో exercise చేశారు. ఆ diverticle exercise చేసిన తర్వాత you see there may be, and a diverticulum లోపల కొన్ని extension in the common bile duct also has been cut, so it can be repaired. Reconstruction of that cut ends of the common bile duct is only partial cut. Even if it is big cut, then you can do suturing, reconstruction. So for type 2 cyst, otherwise known as diverticulum of the common bile duct, diverticulum of the extrahepatic biliary ducts. So excision of the diverticulum, repair of any tear in the common bile duct is the procedure. Excision and reconstruction of the common bile duct. You see, the diverticulum has been removed. And always do cholecystectomy. Always do cholecystectomy. And if it is third variety, see, this is the third variety. Third variety, the treatment is ERCP. So ERCP, endoscopic sphincterotomy and cyst unroofing. So ikkada untundi cyst within the duodenal wall, the ampulla of Vater. So దీన్ని గుండా చేసేసి స్పింక్టర్ ఉంటుంది కదా, స్పింక్టర్ ఆఫ్ వాటర్, ఆ స్పింక్టర్ ను మొత్తాన్ని డైలేట్ చేస్తారు, సో దట్ దిస్ cyst contents will be freely flowing into the duodenum. Okay, that is called endoscopic sphincterotomy with cyst deroofing. సో cyst లాగా ఉంటుంది కదా, దాన్ని డీరూఫ్ చేసేసి అక్కడ sphincterotomy చేస్తే the contents will be passing regularly into the. So if it is successful, okay. Otherwise, pancreaticoduodenectomy cheyalsi vastadi. Okay. This is type 3. And for type 4, see excision of the multiple cysts. Again, excision of the multiple cysts, hepaticojejunostomy. Roux en Y hepatico. Type 4 కూడా Roux en Y hepaticojejunostomy. కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే ఇక్కడ ముందుగానే ఈ ట్రైల్స్ పెట్టుకుంటారు, because it is extensive disease. Because there will be associated intrahepatic cysts also might be present in type 4. Kada 4A lo both intrahepatic and extrahepatic. 4B lo only extrahepatic. Okay, extrahepatic unte with drains ayina avasam లేదు. If there is intrahepatic component, the celastic drains will have to be placed into those common hepatic ducts. So this is type 4. Cholecystectomy, excision of the multiple cysts, followed by Roux en Y right and left hepaticojejunostomy. Separate ga chestaru. Right ki right, left ki left. The two anastomosis will be they will be doing. Okay, with drains into those anastomosis channels. And type 5 Caroli's disease. Type 5 is Caroli's disease. I have told you it is only intrahepatic. So intrahepatic lo, suppose this disease is covering, involving only left lobe. So resection of the left lobectomy, hepatectomy can be done. And if this is exclusively to the right lobe, right hepatectomy can be done. You see, right hepatectomy. And if it is not possible, involved both lobe, no evidence of cirrhosis or malignancy. ఏమి లేకపోతే ఇది procedure, bilateral hepatico-jejunostomy. But this will not be successful. Suppose the patient is having any complications like cirrhosis and malignancy. By the time Caroli's patients they present to the hospital, they come with any of the cirrhosis or malignancy of the liver or common bile ducts. Okay, so ఇట్లా ఉందనుకో, ఈ పక్కన ఒక hepatico-jejunostomy, రైట్ hepatico-jejunostomy, ఇది లెఫ్ట్ hepatico-jejunostomy, separate గా చేస్తారు. Okay, and any baga cumbersome procedures. And if the patient is having cirrhosis or malignancy, appudu em chestaru? The patient with cirrhosis or malignancy or liver failure, the liver transplantation is the only choice. So Caroli's disease ante, if it is involving the one lobe, lobectomy or partial hepatectomy can be done, or this and if it is possible, you can do hepatico-jejunostomy with the drains. And if it is not successful, because the cysts are involving bilateral, the patient has developed jaundice or there is cholangiocarcinoma or hepatocellular carcinoma or any other things, then the total hepatectomy with transplantation is only the answer. So ఒకటి రెండు ట్రాన్స్ప్లాంటేషన్, ఈ 3 మొక్కలు పడాలి టైప్ 5 Caroli's కి. సో ఇది కోలిడోకల్ సిస్టే బై అనదర్, ఇది బొమ్మలు. This is saccular fusiform. Second is colidoco, the diverticulum. Third is colidococele, see very close to the duodenum. Fourth is both intrahepatic and extrahepatic, 4A. 4B ante multiple extrahepatic, 5 is only intrahepatic Caroli's disease. So you got the same way, మీరు అన్ని చూసుకోండి. Swellings which appear and disappear. This is from శ్రీనివాస్ వచ్చావా? సరే, భోంచేసావా నువ్వు? సరే అయితే నువ్వు బ్యాంక్ దగ్గర ఉండి వచ్చేస్తున్నా. రైట్, బ్యాంక్ దగ్గర ఉండి ఆ మేడం కనపడు, అతను పిలిపిస్తే, ఆ ఇండియా ఫస్ట్ అతను పిలిపిస్తే నేను వచ్చేస్తున్నాను అని చెప్పు, 5 నిమిషాలు అక్కడ. రైట్, swellings which appear and disappear, hydronephrosis. There will be swelling, lump abdomen. It will disappear with passage of more urine. That is your diabetes crisis. Interception lo kuda that loop may be invaginating into the proximal loop. It may get automatically reduced by itself. Pseudopancreatic cyst may be, it may appear and gradually it may on itself it may resolve. And the colidocal cyst also, sometimes there can be spontaneous resolution. If there is spontaneous resolution, the patient is lucky. Otherwise, we have to go for so much of big surgeries. So, is ade the Caroli's disease. This is by another Caroli's is type 5 colidocal cyst. The treatment same away. This is by another so type 5 anangalne hepatectomy, partial hepatectomy if it is involving one lobe, and if it is involving both lobes with complications, liver transplantation. Type 3 అన్నామంటే ERCP sphincterotomy and deroofing of the cyst. Okay. Type 4, and if it is involving the portal vein, very close to the portal vein, you have to do Lilly's procedure. ఈ కొన్ని పేర్లు గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. థ్యాంక్ యూ. అండ్ ఇంకొకటి ఉంది మిరిజిస్ డిసీజ్, ఇది కూడా 5 minutes. ఎక్కడ ఇద్దరు రావయ్యా బాబు, పవన్ కళ్యాణ్కి ఒక 5 నిమిషాలు. ఏది ఈ మెరిజిస్ కూడా చెప్పేసేస్తే నాకు కొంచెం సాటిస్ఫాక్షన్ ఉంది. కనిపిస్తుందా?
ఎస్ సార్.
మెరిజిస్. సో మెరిజీ, Pablo Merisi అతని పేరు, 1948. So this is the definition: large gallstone in either the ampulla, neck or the cystic duct, causing extrinsic compression of the common hepatic duct or bile duct. So remember, this is the extrinsic compression of the common hepatic duct by a stone, large gallstone, whether in the ampulla or infundibulum, the neck of the gallbladder. So that is Mersey's syndrome. Okay, Mersey's disease or Mersey's syndrome. So the long-standing, large gallstone in the infundibulum or neck of the gallbladder, it is very big and close to the cystic duct. So it is close to the, when it is close to the, it is in the near the cystic duct, it is very close to the common hepatic duct. So it causes extrinsic pressure. And of course, afterwards it may erode the common hepatic duct and forms the cholecystocholedochal fistula. That is different, but mainly it starts with extrinsic pressure. That is what is described on the Mersey. And chronic and acute inflammatory changes causing secondary stenosis or direct pressure necrosis of the adjacent duct walls causing cholecystocholedochal fistula formation. ఇందులో కూడా 4 రకాలు ఉన్నాయ్యా. Type 1 is compression of the hepatic duct. Cystic duct present, cystic duct obliterated. And బొమ్మ చూస్తే తెలుస్తుంది. Type 2 is fistula formed with the stone in the gallbladder with the common hepatic duct. A fistula form అవటానికి how much circumference of the hepatic duct is involved. So hepatic duct is a tube కదా. If it is less than 33% of the circumference of the hepatic duct, it is grade 2, type 2. If it is more than 33 to 2/3, 33 to 66% అయితే type 3. And if it is more than 2/3 అయితే type 4. And how much there is compression and formation of the fistula, communication with the hepatic duct అనే దాని మీద ఈ టైప్స్ డివైడ్ చేశారు. సో ఇప్పుడు లేటెస్ట్ ది Mersey's types and the features and Sendy's classification modification. Sendy's modify చేశాడు. Type 1 is extensive compression of the CBD, CHD by a large impacted stone in the Hartmann's pouch, that is the infundibular neck. IA is presence of cystic duct. So 1A is presence of cystic duct. The cystic duct is very small, and very small in this case, or may also be dilated because of this stone. And అక్కడ ప్రత్యేకంగా cystic duct అంటే కనబడదు. స్టోన్ which is causing extrinsic pressure of the CBD, CHD నే కనబడుతుంటది. 1A is presence of cystic duct, 1B is obliterated cystic duct. దీనికి వచ్చేసి ERCP, tenting, or subtotal or partial cholecystectomy is the treatment. Subtotal or partial cholecystectomy. Type 2 అంటే stone has eroded the CBD and CHD. 2 అంటే 1/3 of a circumference. 3 అంటే 2/3 of the circumference of the CBD, CHD. Type 4 అంటే more than 2/3 and almost a CBD లోకి వెళ్ళిపోయింది that stone. So it is forming a cholecystocholedochal fistula form అయిపోద్ది ఈ 2, 3, 4 లో. That means the stone, which is a big stone in the Hartmann's pouch, in the stage 1 it is causing extrinsic pressure, but after chronic irritation, long standing and ischemic necrosis, it erodes the common hepatic duct, it forms a fistula. So depending on the involvement of the common hepatic duct, again it is into type 2, 3, 4. ఎందుకంటే వాటిని బట్టి చిన్న చిన్న ప్రొసీజర్లు మారుతాయి. Okay, and last one is type 5, cholecystocoledocal fistula with cholecystoenteric fistula without gallstone ileus. So actually gallstone ileus మెరిజీ కాదు, but ఈ Sendis modification లో it has been included as the type 5 cholecystocoledocal fistula. అంటే the stone in the infundibulum has eroded the common hepatic duct, so or common bile duct. ఆ fistula ఉంది and associated cholecystoduodenal fistula with or without gallstone ileus. అంటే with or without gallstone ileus అంటే ఏంటి? The stone which is in the common hepatic duct, so it has entered the duodenum and it is going all the way to in the the intestinal, in the small intestine, giving rise to gallstone ileus. అర్థమైందా? cholecystocoledocal fistula 2, 3, 4 అన్నిటిలో ఉంటుంది. Because the stone is so big, it will not easily traverse through the common bile duct and into the duodenum. ఒకవేళ వచ్చింది అనుకోండి duodenum, it will not keep quiet. It will be, because the peristalsis, it will go through the jejunum and ileum, and at the terminal ileum it will cause gallstone ileus. Presence of gallstone ileus is 5A, and absence of without gallstone ileus is 5A, with gallstone ileus is 5B. ఎందుకు ఇన్ని అంటే మనం కేసులు ఎక్కువ చూడడం కాదు కదా, మనకు అందులో అంత కన్ఫ్యూజింగ్ గా ఉన్నట్టు. సో అది స్టేజింగ్. సో type 1 is extrinsic compression, type 2, 3, 4 are cholecystocoledocal fistula, type 5 cholecystocoledocal fistula with gallstone, with or without gallstone ileus. Simple. See, ఇది stone. First type 1 లో extrinsic pressure, it causes just extrinsic pressure. And type 2, 3, 4 వచ్చేటప్పటికి, see, this stone has eroded the common bile duct, common hepatic duct, and it forms a cholecystocoledocal fistula. Okay, depending on the involvement of the circumference of this common hepatic duct, it is grade 2, 3, 4, 1/3, 2/3, and more than 2/3 of the circumference of the common hepatic duct. Okay, it is a type 4 fistula. Type 5 అంటే ఏంది? This fistula plus this stone, it has entered the duodenum, causing gallstone ileus. Without ileus is 5A, with ileus is 5B. Simple. Only after seeing this diagram you can understand better. So in the statistics ఇచ్చారు. In many of the cases it can be asymptomatic. తర్వాత symptoms of cholecystitis, recurrent cholangitis, symptoms of obstructive jaundice, depending on, suppose the stone is in the, because there is extrinsic compression so much that there is bile flow will be obstructed, so the patient can develop obstructive jaundice. Or the stone has entered through the fistula to the common bile duct or common hepatic duct, completely blocking the duct, so again there will be obstructive jaundice and associated cholangitis, fever, and all those things will be present. So differential diagnosis: biliary atresia, cholangiocarcinoma, and cholelithiasis. We have to differentiate by various investigations. So not recognized until the time of operation. Damage to common hepatic or bile duct, attempting to dissect the neck or cystic duct. So అది చేసేటప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే మనము జాగ్రత్తగా కనుక చేయకపోయామనుకో, you will injure the common hepatic duct or common bile duct. Again, it is a big nuisance. So kabatti very carefully you have to display the anatomy and you have to treat. What is the treatment? Of course, investigations, ultrasound, CT, MRI, ఇవన్నీ మామూలే. See, ERCP, మిరిజి, ERCP లో చేశాను అనుకోండి. You see, this is the common hepatic duct. which is extrinsically compressed. See, this is, and so probably this is the stone in the infundibulum of the gallbladder, which is extrinsically compressing. So ఇక్కడ ఇంకా fistula form కాల, extrinsically compressing the
వాట్సాప్ అని చూస్తున్నా. ఇదే ఇది కంపెనీ నెంబర్.
సో హెడా స్కాన్ ఇవన్నీ బుక్ అయితే సరిపోతుంది. సో ది ట్రీట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ the treatment is open the fundus, type 1 లో open the fundus, remove the stone after manipulating it into the gallbladder. Stone ని gallbladder లోకి నెట్టి do partial cholecystectomy.
వేరే వాళ్ళకి రాపోయి
If you attempt total cholecystectomy, you are likely to injure the common hepatic duct. ఎవరయ్యా 3 to 4 స్టార్ట్ చేశారా? అవును,
వేరే వాళ్ళకి నీకు రాబోయిందంటే
సరే ఈ చదవండి, మీకు అర్థం అవుతుంది, సింపుల్ వెళ్ళి. ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ. పవన్
సార్
చివరి డిస్టర్బెన్స్ వచ్చింది, ఆ స్లైడ్స్ చూడండి, బుక్ చదవండి, సింపుల్ గానే అర్థం అవుద్ది. ఆ స్పెసిఫిక్ వర్డ్స్ మీరు కొన్ని గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవాలి, వాట్ ఈస్ ఎక్స్పెక్టెడ్ ఇన్ ది ఎగ్జామినేషన్స్. మీకు నెక్స్ట్ క్లాస్ లో నేను పెరిటోనైటిస్ క్లాస్ తీసుకుంటాను. ఓకే, మీరు రివిజన్ క్లాస్ అడిగారు కదా, నేను పెరిటోనైటిస్ తీసుకుంటాను. రైట్,
ఓకే సార్.
రైట్, లీవ్ మీటింగ్, ఐఎమ్ లీవింగ్, ఎండ్ మీటింగ్ ఫర్ ఆల్. Yes.